moving forward, Coach said he's going to emphasize coaching and preparation. And he said we've won some games that people outside of Brantley didn't think we should. And that really excites him. He said when people within our community and outside of it begin to notice the effort that the boys are putting in, it's a great thing. The coaches and I want to thank the Board of Education, the admin team at Brantley County High School, and the maintenance department for their incredible support so far. He said that just the other night there were 3 maintenance men volunteered their time to cook in the service concession stand, and he said that is real support. Regardless of the outcome of the season, the coaches and Coach Cox are really proud of the young men on the team and the effort they have put forth. They talked the other day as a team about work, and the question came up, what happens when hard work doesn't win? And the answer is that the work is the win. The practice of working hard and the habits you form are what will be your win in life after baseball. And hopefully he wants to continue to build on that idea as the season extends into the playoff and to all season. And we just left a baseball game where they were playing Charleston, and after the second inning we were up 5-0. So that was a great thing. Trip Hendrickson just hit a 3-run homer when I left. So. Our boys soccer had a tough season and suffered several season-ending injuries early in the region. Schedule finishing with a record of 1-16. There will be 5 seniors that will be honored on senior night. Despite the record, there were several bright spots. This was the first year playing at a varsity level sport for many players, and all of the guys who were not injured vastly improved from the beginning of the season to the end. More than half of the team members were either 9th or 10th graders, and a very large group of 8th graders will join us for summer soccer. Multiple players were also mentioned at the region meeting this week, meaning they were noticed by other coaches as well. And the all-region team members for Brantley will be announced on May the 1st. Our girls soccer, the Lady Herons finished with a season of 7 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie. In the new 8-team region alignment, they finished 5-9. They finished in 6th place after a close battle with 2 other teams for 4th. The Lady Herons suffered 5 season-ending injuries, some pretty serious injuries. We had some girls that broke some arms, and it was a tough year for our girls with some season-ending injuries. And our thoughts and prayers are definitely with them. But, however, they still managed to defeat Windsor Forest 10-0 with only 13 players, ending the season very strong. So we're very proud of our girls soccer. Our golf teams. The boys and girls golf team are preparing for the upcoming sectional qualifier at Circle Stone Country Club in Adel, Georgia. They're looking forward to representing Brantley County. High school, our boys team is led by juniors Gavin Robertson, Bennett Williams, and Austin Speed, and they have a good chance to qualify for the state championship match this year. The full roster for the golf team includes juniors Gavin Robertson, Bennett Williams, Austin Speed, Landon Smith, sophomore Grady Gilbert, and Sean Hand. The girls team is led by sophomore Kira King, and the girls team is hoping to compete this year at sectionals with a shot at making it in the state championship. The sectional qualifier will be on May 1st at Circle Stone Country Club in Adel, and will feature the following schools: Appleton, Berrien, Brantley, Cook, Dodge, Fitzgerald, Jeff Davis, Pierce, Savannah Art, Sumter, Tatnall, Toombs, Vidalia, Windsor Forest, and Worth County. A lot of teams that we represent there. In track this year, we finished the track in regular field season on April the 12th. We've had 7 regular season meets on our schedule, and we're able to complete all of those this year. Most years, at least one of the meets will be canceled due to weather conditions. Our team has had several athletes set new personal records this season, and most notably is Devin Saunders, who set the all-time record for our high school at Brantley in the high jump this season with a jump that measured 6 foot 2 inches. That's getting up there pretty good. Next week is our region track meet. This is a 2-day event that will start tomorrow on 4/18 and 4/20, weather permitting at Pierce County Middle. In each event, each school can have up to 3 entries. Since we are in an 18 region, that means you can have 24 males and 24 females entries. The top 4 places from each event at the region track meet will advance to the sectionals. This year, the sectionals will be at East Jackson Comprehensive High School in Commerce on May the 6th. At the sectional track meet, each event will have 16 competitors, and the top 8 competitors will advance to the track, to the state track meet. This year, our state track meet will be held at BCHerons High School in Powder Springs, Georgia, on May 11th, 12th, and 13th. And then our last are our tennis girls and boys, and they again had an amazing season. Our girls had an overall record of 12-6. They were 10-2 in our region. They were tied for first in our region. It's a three-way tie. But for the state tournament, we will be a 2 seed based on the tie-breaking rules. Individual accomplishments: Brooklyn Lyles was the region player of the year at 12-0 in our region at #1 singles. Rayleigh Strickland was also undefeated in region play at 12-0 at #2 singles. We will host Putnam County in the first round of state playoffs this Wednesday at 1 o'clock at the high school. So we'd love to have everyone there if you can make it. Our boys were 17-1 overall record. I think our only loss came against Valdosta. They were 12-0 in our region. They were region champs. This is the third year in a row they've been region champs. And individual accomplishments this year, we had our region player of the year was Ben Smith. So we had the boys and the girls region player of the win of the year in singles. Ben was 10-1 at #1 singles. And then Garrison Chester, Tucker Oakwin, Patrick Oakwin, Rowan Davis, Gavin Baxley, and Jeff Floyd are also all undefeated throughout the regular season. And we will host Johnson of Augusta tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Brantley County High School. So again, I'd love to see everyone there. Our coaches, our student athletes, they have done an amazing job this year, and we appreciate the support we get.
Dr. Todd, also, I know that their season is still going on as far as our anglers for fishing. Am I correct in thinking that about 4 of our teams now have qualified for
Yes, I
state?
think it's 4 that have qualified.
Yes, I think we had a couple more qualify this past weekend, so they're doing great too. That's exciting.
It is.
So, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up, Dr. Haney, if you will come and help us recognize our Georgia Young Authors. I'm so excited for our board members to see all of these, the publishing of these writing pieces from these authors.
I am deeply honored to be able to do this each year, and I remember whenever I was about your age, and I actually won some of these myself through the years, and it's still a very good memory, and I actually found some of my certificates the other day, so hold on to them. Bright young futures ahead of you, and we're excited to see what you do. So just introducing, and Ms. Claudia, I knew you wanted to say, did you want to introduce or say anything with your high school?
Dr. Todd said yes.
Okay. If you would like to, you can come on up. If not, I'll introduce them. But we'll start with kindergarten, and we have Miss Daisley Harris. Honestly. Oh, Miss Harris. Come here, darling. Hey, darling. How are you? He did a great job on his kindergarten.
Can you smile for mama? Smile for mama and give you a smile. Okay. Now let's turn this way. Thank you.
For our first grade, we have Grace Colton.
Grace. You want to do a little person? Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Now smile. Smile.
Our second grade system winner, we have Aurora Austin. And to our board members who are waiting, you have a little booklet that has all of their pieces in there. For third grade, I have Holland Gunter. And I don't think they're able to be here with us tonight, so we still proud. And for fourth grade, we have Peyton Elkin. We're extra glad to see that. have Mason Glover. For sixth grade, we have Kaylin Cruz. For seventh grade, we have Lexi Allen. For eighth grade, we have Candace Snyder. This is a huge honor for these young men and women. They were chosen among all of their grade level. We have pieces from each student. For ninth grade, we have, and I hope that I pronounced this right, Miley Peterson. For 10th grade, we have Jackson Snell. For 11th grade, and this is what you aspire to, because I think I've seen you almost every single year, Miss Mallory. So Mallory Dent is our 11th grade. Awesome, right? And another talented writer for our 5th grade, Olivia Wilson. And we look forward to seeing what you're going to do in the future. And as I said, a lot of these things we recognize from year to year. They come back to us, and I look forward to see what they do in the future. Our second announcement tonight is with, if you heard at the very beginning of the meeting, we had some music playing, and that was our all-state treble group. And we are very, very honored. We have a wonderful chorus program here. And Miss Heather Jacobs, do you mind coming up here? And I'm going to let her talk a little bit about this honor, but just to let you know, we had our very own middle school student this year that went to all-state chorus. Huge, huge honor, one of the highest honors they can get. So I'm going to let you tell me about her.
Well, thank you for having us tonight. Wanted to kind of tell you what the process is to actually make this choir. You have to go through 2 auditions. The first audition, the students have to sing 3 scales, and then they have to do a classical piece that they have to memorize and sing. Then they also have to do the hardest part, which is sight reading. They have to sight read 3 examples. So it's a piece of music they've never seen before. They have to be able to sing both pitches and rhythms. And this is throughout the whole entire state. So making it past the first audition is pretty much a hard task. Kate did make it past the first audition, which was in September, and then in January, she had the music. I think it was 7 pieces. They only ended up singing 6 pieces, but she ended up doing really well at that second audition where she had to learn all of the pieces. She did a really good job of learning them on her own, and I appreciate that very much. And then in February, we got to go to Athens, and we were able to perform. She was able to perform with over 300 other students in a huge choir. So it was a great weekend. They practiced Thursday, Friday, and then performed Saturday afternoon. It was a great weekend, but it was a really great honor to teach Kate, and I am so excited to see what she does in the future.
Hey, Kate first.
We're so proud of you, Katie.
And my last update is just a reminder that we have the prom coming up Saturday at 8 p.m. at Red River Estates. So we're very excited about that opportunity for our students. And that concludes my update.
Thank you. We will take a 2-minute break for those that wish to leave and go on home and either have supper or family time, and then we'll resume in 2 minutes. Thank you. Is there any public participation? Hearing or seeing none, we will move on to the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions to the agenda?
I'd just like to add a couple more announcements that were passed on by Ms. Jacobs. This Thursday, Franklin County High School will have a musical, and Dr. Haynes checking on the time. It's a Hollywood thing. And then on April 28th, the middle school will perform Mary Poppins at 6:30, that program.
In high school, I'll say 6:30.
This Thursday, 6:30.
motion to adopt the agenda, please?
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes. Okay, now we have the deposition of the minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, may I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the minutes.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
And Teresa votes yes. Next will be our monthly financial reports. May I get a motion to accept those?
I'll make a motion to accept the financial report.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion or anything? Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes. I think right here, I still want to do the SPOS
Yes,
readout.
absolutely.
Our local SPOS collected was $143,344.59. And then our local tax for car tags was $69,382.47 for a grand total of $212,727.06. But I want to put a plug in there. Even if you do online orders to Walmart for Brantley, we still get a percentage for that. So shop all you want to at Walmart, just make them online. And also, there's plenty of boutiques in Brantley, so please shop those also. Thank you, dear.
She does commercials on the side too.
And all those Amazon boxes coming to your house as well.
Raven, those specify FedEx or UPS, please. My wife will have to touch back.
Okay, now we're gonna move on to the action items.
All right, thank you. For our action items, we're gonna begin with, some of our board policies that we've been reviewing. The first group of policies is going to be section, J, students. We're gonna also have the board policy JCEB, student hearing procedures separately. So the first one we're gonna do is the board policy review, including all the policies under section J. I recommend to accept the revision of section J, students' board policies as presented.
Okay, we hear the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept J.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
We've been partnering with Georgia School Boards Association and doing a review of our policies. They recommend that you do this every 5 to 7 years, so it's a lengthy process, and this is our second group. We'll be doing a group of policies each month, probably to about June or July.
Thank you. Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
And Teresa votes yes.
Next action item, I recommend to accept board policy JCEB, student hearing procedure as presented.
Okay, we hear the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept student hearing procedure policy as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am, I have some discussion. I would like to see added in this policy that instead of just doing our hearings and stuff with our audio, I believe we need to go to video, being that we have the capability to do it. I think sometimes when you see things, it might help some with the hearing and whatnot, and I think the video needs to be added, and we could discuss that. But I'd like to see the video part added to this policy. And I would like to see that regardless, all evidence that's collected in an investigation of a student, whether it be for the student, against the student, all evidence that is collected in that case, I believe should be given to the tribunal or the appeal process with the board or whatever process is being taken. I believe that should be, all evidence should be included, not just that that's against the student.
What does the policy read about the video / audio?
It doesn't have it in there, and Mr. Adam, you can speak to this. We were going to begin the practice of trying to record video as well, and I've even spoken with Mr. Allen. He's working on the technology. Now, we do feel like we need to get parent permission of those kids like we would anytime we do video or picture. So that's my only hesitancy in making it policy, this board can give us the directive without it being a policy, but that needs to be our new procedure practice. Again, as long as we get signatures of all witnesses involved, and if you tell us that we don't have to have those signatures, then
I mean, I would think you would need to get.
Mr. Jimmy Stokes recommends that that's why they recommend the audio over the video, is because you might run into some instances where the parents don't want their children videoed.
But the other thing is, I don't know that upon an appeal to the state, I don't know that they would accept the video. So if anything, it would be for the benefit of the board, local board,
To watch it.
to watch it. But then my question would be, well, if the board watches the video, to base its decision, the state requests a transcription, it's not the same thing. So.
They're not gonna hear the audio anyway, they're gonna read the transcription, right?
Right, so my question would be, that might be a legality that we would need to find out from the state board if we adopt this policy to video record. Will we be able to send a video recording to the state board, or are we still gonna send a written transcript on black and white? I understand what you're saying, things on a video are different than reading something black and white, but my understanding is that the state board this time wants a transcription, and I don't know that they would accept the video as part of any appeal process, but we can find out the answer to that. But the other thing would be, I think we would need to get permission if the students would, maybe not the student who was accused, but the student who testified. I don't know that we would probably end up having to redact that image or something, or either give permission to the parents, I think.
So what I was planning on doing, I know you guys have all heard Phil Hartley say before that you can have practices and procedures that do not have to be policy. So I was just planning on our new procedure being, we plan to record, and we'll record and have the audio, we'll do both. And should a parent not agree to their child being recorded during the tribunal, then we won't. And Mr. Allen, I know you're already working on that we had requested that, and you and Dr. Haney had looked into it. So you want to give us just a little update on that piece?
We'll be able to use the same camera we use in the board meeting to record video if we go that route. And I have parts that get installed that will improve the sound for our audio recording as well.
So, but we're in agreement. We just don't know that we should make a policy. Maybe just be our new procedure.
It could be, that will, upon request of the majority of the board. If the board says we want audio, then you go, if the board says we want.
We'll just have both.
Yeah.
Well, the time perhaps would be to ask if a student requests that it be video recorded, could the tribunal consider, because I mean, a student may not want it video recorded.
Right.
So you can leave that to the discretion of the
Families
the
involved.
student or the parents. If they requested it, then it could be recorded by video and audio.
Brings up a good point. When you make the decision, you start videoing all tribunals in case the board does want to see the video, or do you just video it?
Yeah, that's what we were planning on being our new procedure right now.
Video
Yes, sir.
Ever tribunal.
That's what we were planning on.
See what we're
And if we
allowed.
run into a parent who does not want their child to be videoed, then it'll just be the audio. But that's what we were planning on. That's what we've discussed as our new procedure, but not policy.
So the parents will know and have to sign a waiver saying that they know their child will be videoed.
Yes. That sound good, Mr. Allen?
I mean, I would leave the discretion of the parent.
Yes.
The student who is accused personally, I think that's a wiser move perhaps, because then, I mean, presumably, the parent would determine whether there's a benefit to having a video recorded. If they believe that it is, then they could request it recorded. The board doesn't really shouldn't, I don't know, necessarily have a say-so as to whether it has to be recorded. I don't know, I mean, the student is the one who's accused, they have the rights and due process to have their case
I
heard,
think-
but.
This last audio was really good. We were able to hear it really well, but I think the board was hoping in the future to have the video.
And the thought there is that the tribunal got to watch these kids on the stand, and they're mannerisms and, you know, and their facial expressions and all of that. But as a appeals, we don't get that. All we hear is the audio, and you don't get to see how the person's body language, or, you know, what we're at a disadvantage to the ones that made the original decision. And I'm not saying we would want to see the audio every time, but if it left the door open, and it was the majority of the board saying, hey, we want to see video on it.
Well, I mean, you can do it, but I just think, you know.
You're saying don't record it at all without their permission, or don't share it.
I'm just saying, give it an option to the student who is the person who is in jeopardy.
The one that would do the appealing.
Right, and either, if they say, hey, I would like for y'all to audio and video record this, make that decision at the tribunal level.
I see.
And then, you know, at that point,
Give them the opportunity.
give them the opportunity to make that decision at the tribunal level. And if they choose to video record it or audio record it, then
They understand.
they understand that they have to make their decision at that point, you know.
They can't video it and say, no, I don't want the video
Yeah.
to be shown. Once you make that decision, it's available to the.
Correct. It would be, then at that point, if it's appealed to the next level, the board not only has an audio, but would have the video. Presumably, might want to watch both of them. Watch the video, hear that audio, listen to audio without the video. I mean, you've got two records at that time, really, so. That might be an option to just let the student and or his or her parent or parents make that decision at the tribunal level.
I still would like to see it added in there that all the evidence that is collected in an investigation, in a case, be available for the tribunal or for the appeal process. Well, it has to start with the tribunal. They shouldn't pull out pieces of this evidence, pieces of that evidence. All the evidence collected in that case should be submitted in that tribunal.
So let me ask, so I understand that if a piece of evidence that's collected is deemed inadmissible during the tribunal, are you suggesting that the board should still be allowed to view that?
No, you can't by Georgia state law, you can't. Whatever's in the tribunal has to go to the board. What I'm saying is, all the pieces of the investigation, all the statements, everything that's collected on that particular case needs to go to the tribunal. Not just the pieces that are against the person. If there's somebody that spoke in favor of, or somebody that had a different recollection of what happened, all of that evidence should be presented to the tribunal and not just bits and pieces.
For example, if there was 5 written statements from 5 different students who were presented for.
That's a
Administrator
decision of the person prosecuting the tribunal and defending the tribunal. Right? Then you get into issues of.
Because it's basically just like a court case, correct?
It is.
I mean, really.
It's a fact-finding
School
tribunal.
can present it or the other.
And so, if, let's say I choose to present a piece of evidence, it may be deemed inadmissible, not allowed into evidence, and therefore, if that's the case, it would not be part of the record. Or I may decide, well, if I've got, 3 witness statements that say the same thing, do I need to really present all 3? I mean, there are tactical reasons why certain evidence is presented and not presented. And that, again, it's an adversarial position at the tribunal level where you have someone representing the school district and then someone representing the student. So they make their decisions about what do we present, what do we not present. So I don't know, I mean, I'm not saying it can't be done, but I think that you might run into some evidentiary issues as far as the issue of due process and allowing the parties to try.
Both sides have a right to bring evidence.
Correct, correct.
So in that theory, all evidence can be put in there. Every bit good, if one lawyer or the other lawyer or one rebel side or the other side.
Right.
There's no evidence.
Well, the district bears the burden of proving anything happened, so the district really is the one presenting the evidence.
The student has a right to defend
Correct.
themselves through whatever evidence, through the same evidence.
I think the issue, certainly the side should, I think it's already in the policy about the student being allowed to see what they're charged with and what evidence the district has. And I think that may already be in the policy, but requiring everything to go into the record, I just don't know, then you're taking away the decision of the tribunal, the person doing the tribunals, to what's admissible and what's not admissible. So I just don't know really legally if that can be done as far as taking away that authority of the person running the tribunal to decide issues of admissibility or not
We can
admissibility.
find that. And the
Yeah,
defense lawyer
we
might
can
not
find that out.
want you deciding what all the information is presented on the defense side. They put their own text.
And parents do not have to have legal, they do not have to have legal representation to have a tribunal.
That's correct.
They can defend their own child in a tribunal.
And they can,
And parents are allowed to get that evidence. Parents are allowed to get the evidence from the school without an attorney.
If it's going to a tribunal.
if it's going to the tribunal, yes, ma'am. And I think that, I can't remember the specific section here, but, I know that they're entitled to see the evidence against them, because again, they don't bear any burden of proof. The burden of proof is on the district. The student doesn't have to say anything or present anything. They're, presumed innocent. The district has to prove his case, so. But I can find out about that if you want me to.
I would like that.
Look at that.
Because at the end of the day, what we're here for is the student. We are here to help the students. We are here to get them wherever they need to be in their educational process. And whenever everything's stacked up against them and they're not really allowed to defend themselves, I just feel like in order to be fair to the system and to the school kids, students in the system, that they need to be, everybody needs to see everything out front. I'll just leave it at that.
Is that it, Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And can I just make a
Yes.
comment, because I know we're got a motion on the floor about to vote on this policy, but we are, amending policies every month, so if we vote on this one now and he finds out something that we need, that we would need to make a change, we can vote on it again.
Thank you. Ms. Kathy?
No.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes.
All right, the next action item, I recommend to approve the bid of $68,379.40 from Mobile Communications to install a new Valcom digital intercom system at Hoboken Elementary.
We hear the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion for the intercom system at Hoboken Elementary.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am, at our work session, our maintenance director spoke to the, the age of all of our intercoms in our 7 schools, and we're wanting to begin the process of updating those. They're older and no longer adequate in many of our schools for our needs, and particularly our new, system that we've bought, our new safety system, strategics. The updating these intercom systems is gonna help that with the alarms and so forth. Operate better. So we're beginning with the intercom system that has the most requests for repair right now. We'll do that one first. So,
Thank you. Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
And Teresa votes yes.
I recommend to approve the bid of $24,102.98 from Baker Distributing to purchase 5 HVAC units for the maintenance department.
We hear the recommendation. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the bid of the 5 HVAC units.
Do I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Just a reminder from our discussion at the work session that it's taking longer and longer to get these units in, so he's trying to make sure we have some in stock, because when one goes out, we don't want a hot classroom or a hot gym. So anyway, we're gonna continue trying to make sure we have some of every kind in stock.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes.
I'd like to recommend that the Breathitt County Board adopt the governance protocols and norms for the governance team.
We hear the recommendation. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the norms and protocols for the governance team.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Discussion.
So we, had our whole board training back in January where a GSSA representative, Ms. Donna Hinton, come and work with us. And our board wrote up a set of norms and protocols that they would, like to work with, and we're ready to adopt them now.
Thank you. Anything else? Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes.
Next action item, I recommend to approve the substitute pay scales as presented.
We hear the recommendation. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the substitute pay scale.
Thank you. A second.
I'll second.
Discussion.
We just made a couple of tweaks on there. The most notable one is, when we have a position that's a skilled labor, like needing a sub for a mechanic or a maintenance employee or tech guy, that we, have a separate scale for them of $15
Thank you.
per hour.
Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes.
Next action item, I recommend to approve the engineering fees for paving projects at a cost not to exceed $52,100.
We hear the recommendation. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the engineering fees.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion.
Yes, ma'am. This, quote is the one that our architects provided, but, our maintenance director is also getting a couple, at least two more, right, local ones, so we'll be contacting you. We feel very confident it's gonna be a good bit lower than this, so that's good news. So we'll, call you or email you and let you know what the lowest bid turned out to be.
Thank you. Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa, yes. Do we need personnel?
We do.
I need a motion for executive session for personnel, please.
I'll make a motion for personnel executive session.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes. We are out of executive session at 8 o'clock with no action taken. May I have a motion to come out of executive session?
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
Thank you. May I have a second? Thank you. Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff? Teresa votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the following resignations. Cameron Martin, special education teacher. Caitlin Rao, science teacher.
You hear the resignations. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the resignations.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the following retiree resignations. Selena Tomlin, teacher at Brantley County High School, and Marcia Thompson, teacher at Nahuna Primary School.
You hear the retirees. May I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept retiree resignations.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes.
I would like to ask the board to accept the retirement resignation of Miss Debbie Dean, Superintendent Secretary,
I'll
Board of
make a
Education.
motion to accept the recommendation.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I'd like to say in the comment part of it, I've been on the board, I got on here running in 2002 and started in January of 2003. And my count might be a little off, but I've worked with 6 superintendents, one of them 3 different times. 13 different board members, about 7 assistant superintendents. I don't know how many principals, every one of them's been changed at least one time. 3 head football coaches, 2 men basketball coaches, 3 lady basketball coaches, 3 maintenance directors, 3 bus directors, and 3 board attorneys. But only 1 secretary to the superintendent.
We're gonna have to check that today.
Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the following recommendations for hire. Andrew Johns Jr., Maintenance Department employee. Mary Jean Trent, paraprofessional. Shelby Carson, special ed paraprofessional. Maddie Hutto, agriculture elementary teacher. Mallory G., secretary at Atkinson Elementary School. Alexis Bond, paraprofessional at Atkinson Elementary School. Jessica Boatwright, paraprofessional, Nahuna Primary School. Lindsay Oakey, special education paraprofessional, Nahuna Primary School. Loretta Tanner, special education paraprofessional, Nahuna Elementary School. Amanda Meredith, ELA teacher, Brantley County High School. Reba Hathaway, interim school nutrition program director. Kimberly Tye, special education teacher, Brantley County High School. Carrie Dawson, school nurse at the Nahuna schools.
Hear the recommendations. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the recommendations of hire.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I second all of
Thank you. Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the following athletic addendums. Tara Tyler, co-head cheerleading coach. Shannon Murray, co-head cheerleading coach, Brantley County High School for both of those ladies. Miss Danielle Cohen, assistant cheerleading coach for Brantley County High School. Sonia Kelly, 1/2 assistant cheerleading coach for Brantley County Middle School. Bobby Hatcher, 1/2 assistant cheerleading coach for Brantley County Middle School. Lindsay Williamson, assistant softball coach, Brantley County Middle School. Madison Novak, assistant softball, Brantley County Middle School. And Jeff Cannon, athletic director, Brantley County High School.
You hear the recommendations. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the athletic addendum.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes.
I'd like to ask the board to accept the following transfer of Miss Laura King to transfer from special education teacher at Nahunta Elementary School to special education teacher at Nahunta Primary School.
We hear the recommendation for the transfer. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the transfer.
Thank you. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes. I need a motion to adjourn, please.
Can I just make one comment?
Yes, you may.
I do wanna, last month, March, we were able to make a lot of hires, and, this month as well. And when you see all those names, there's been a lot of, hard work in interviews from administrators and teachers that serve on these interview committees. So anyway, just want to say thank you guys for the job you do.
Thank you. May I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
A second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Ms. Kathy?
Yes.
Mr. Mike?
Yes.
Mr. David?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Teresa votes yes. Everybody have a